Hi, this is Music Theory 3 video. We're going to talk about chords and what the notes are that make up a chord and how to find those notes. So this is the chord chart that I gave you in your beginning package. And these are most of the chords you'll be using. Unless you start getting fancier. But the thing that I want to point out is that for the notes, the chords that you're using right now, there's only 3 types of chords. You got major chords, which C is a major chord, F, D, A, G, E. Those are your major chords, of course, yeah. Then you have minor chords, and they have the little M's next to them. A minor, D minor, G minor, E minor, B minor, C minor, F minor. Then you have these chords with a 7 on it, and we call it the 7 chord, right? This is a G7. I need to make a distinction here. This, strictly speaking, the proper name is actually G dominant 7 versus G major 7. We typically, right now, for the time being, you're only playing dominant 7s, but they're so common that you don't bother to say the dominant. If you say G7, musicians will understand that you mean G dominant 7. And if you ever had to use a G major chord, G major 7, you would actually say G major 7. So don't worry about that. Just remember that this is a dominant 7. I'll explain why that matters later. So we only have 3 chords, major, minor, and 7 chords, okay? So in the last lesson, I talked about how to find all the notes in a given key. All this. We actually worked out for C, A, and F keys what the notes were. So let's work out a couple examples how to find the chords or the notes in a given chord. So let's say, let's try the C chord. Let's do the major C. So major, major, the 1, the 3, and the 5 note. So if we did C, if we do the C chord, that equals the C, of course, and then 1, 2, 3 is an E. Oops. And then from E goes to the 5, which is a G. Okay. If we do the A chord, A major, A equals A, of course, is the 1. The 3 note is what? C sharp. C sharp. Okay, and then the 5 note is an E. Okay, let's spread this out a little. How's that? Okay. Then if we do the F, we start with F. We have to use, so here's F equals the 1 is F, of course. The 3 is A. And the 5 is a C. Okay, so those are our major chords. And we'll work through the example a different way in a minute. Let's try the minor chords. Minor equals. So here's the formula for minor. It's a 1 note, a flatted 3, and a 5. So it's almost the same. So let's work out C minor. Well, we already did the major, so we can use this information to do the minor chord. So you start with C, so C minor chord starts with a C. Okay. The 3 is a E, but we know that it's flatted. So the correct note here is E flat. And the 5 note is a G. All right, let's work out A minor. Oops. Okay, of course it starts with an A. That's the root. Oh, that's another vocabulary word, by the way. The root note of A minor is A, and the root note of C minor is C. Root note of F chord, F major is F. So it's kind of obvious. Okay, A minor, the 3 note is a C sharp. But if you flat a C sharp, what do you get? You get a C, right? Think about that. And the 5 note is an E. Okay, let's do F minor. Starts with an F, of course. the 3 chord is, or the 3 note is an A, so that means this is an A flat, right? And the 5 note is a C. So hopefully you see how that works. I want to talk a little bit. So again, this music theory is all about organizing and arranging. And when you name the chords, we could have called this a B sharp. Sorry, a G sharp. This could have been a G sharp, but it's not, because we stick with the convention that we are flatting the 3rd note in the scale. So the 3rd note was A, it wasn't a G, right? It was an A. And so this is not A sharp. I mean, sorry, this is not G sharp. This is A flat. It has to be an A. So that you stay the A and then flat it. Okay. And then this is the C. So this is just one of those naming convention things. It's just the way it is. They like to organize it. Okay, so let's talk about the dominant 7 chord. I'm going to call it dominant 7. 7. Okay. This one is a 1, a 3, a 5, and a flatted 7. You'd think it'd be 7 since we're calling it a 7, but that's the major 7. A 1, 3, 5, and 7 is the major 7, but we tend to play the dominant 7, so this is what we do. Okay, so let's work this out. So C, this is, remember, C7 is shorthand for C dominant 7. It's going to look the same for the first part, right? It's going to be a C, C. We're looking at the major, right? So C, E, G, and the 7 note. Where's my, how do I do this? Okay, scroll up, I guess. And the 7 note for C is a B. So that means I want B flat, right? Because I have to flat it. So next we'll do an A7. Oops, sorry. so equals. So we start with the A, so it's A, C sharp, C sharp, E, and then what was the 7 chord, oh, 7 note? 7 note in the key of A was G sharp. Okay. So let's go down G sharp, but remember we flat it. So G sharp flatted is G, right? That shouldn't be any big surprise, right? Okay. Now let's try F7. You guys just learned this recently. So you start with the F, A, C, and then let's go find what the 7 note was in the key of F. We had worked out that it was an E. Let's go back down. So we put E, but remember we flat it, so it's E flat. Oops, sorry. Okay, so let's look at that. So you guys know, let's verify that we did it right. Scoot this over. Let's look at the major chords first. I'm gonna, sorry. Let's look at the major chords first. Let's shrink this a little bit. Okay, so let's try the C chord. So we said that the C chord is made up of C, E, and G. So let's verify. You guys know your chromatic scale. So here's C. You guys are very familiar with C. So this is this. When you play this string, it's a G, right? Because it's an open G. You play this one, it's a C. And you play this one, and it's an E, right? So that already met it. So we already got a G, C, and E already. And then on this one, we have the 3rd fret. So it's open as A sharp, B, C. So we are indeed playing C. We got 2 C's, E and G in the C major chord, right? So let's try the A chord. So you know where's A? Here's A. So we said we think that A chord is made up of A sharps, A, C sharp, and E. Let's see. So this first string is a G, so G, G sharp, A. So we got our A. The second string is a C, so one up is a C sharp. So long way we got our C sharp. The third string is an E, it's an open E, so we're back to E. And then this is an open A, so we got another A, so we got it, right? It's we ended up with an A, a C sharp, and E and an A. So we doubled up on the A's because this is A and this is A. All right, let's check out F. So here's F. And we said F is F, A, and C. So let's check it out. So we got our G string. So it's G, G sharp, A. So we got our A again. So we got A, verified. C, we got our C because that's open C. This is the E string, so one up is F, right? So we got our F already. So we already got F, A, and C. And then here's an open A string, so we got another A. So we got 2 A's again in the F chord. So that worked. With that, we proved that we got that correct. So let's look at the minor chords. Let's screw this up. So the minor chords are here. Let's see if we get that right. So C minor, let's check out C minor. Where's C minor? So here's C minor. We said we think we got a C, E flat, and G. So let's check it out. So we got we got a G, we got open G right here. This one, we got C string, so it's C, C sharp, D, D sharp, or E flat, right? Because this would have been the E. So this is E, this is our E flat note. So we got that, right? So here's our E string, E, F, F sharp, G. So we got our G note, right? And then here's our C string. You should already know this is the C. So indeed, we got C, E flat, and G in the C minor chord. Let's check out A minor. Here's our A minor. So A minor, we said it's A, C, and E. Let's check it out. So you should be getting easier at this. So this is G string, G, G sharp, A, right? So we got our A, we got our C, we got our E, and we got our A. So we did it. Okay, how about F minor? You guys just learned F minor, sorry. So we said F minor is F, A flat, and C. Okay, so if we look at this is our G string. So this is G, G sharp, which is also A flat. So we got our A flat. Here's our C. Here's our F. And oh, we got an A string. So what do we got here? A sharp, B, C. So we repeated the C. So F, we got F minor. Okay, so let's look at our 7 chords. So here's our C. We said it's C, E, G, and B flat. Let's check it out. So where's our C7 chord? Where do you go? C7. So we got open G. So we got our G. Yep. Open C, which we got. We got C. We got an open E. We got E. And on the A chord, what do we got? We got A sharp, which is also B flat. So we got our B flat. So we did it. We got the correct C7 prediction. Okay. A7 is A, C sharp, E, and G. Okay. So where's A7? Here's A7. So we got open G. We got our G. This is C. So this is C sharp. We got our C sharp. We got our E, open E, and we got our open A. So our A7 is correct. Okay, let's look at F7. Where are you, F7? Oh, this chart does not look like it has F7. So take it from me that F7 is correct. Anyway, I think you understand how the process works. Let's look at it from a different point of view. Let's see, what do I have here? Part of why we do this is, let's say I wanted to find another variant of that chord. So I want to just find these notes, right? And so a simple example, I'm going to do like a really simple example. I told you that this is like your C, you know how to do a C chord, right? This open, 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 and then you put your finger on the C. But I've mentioned also to you that this is also a C chord. If you do open, 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 and then the 7 chord. And the reason is because we got our G here, we got our C here, we got our E here. If I do the E here, all I'm doing is doubling up on the E. So this is a proper, so to put one finger here and the rest open is a proper C chord. And then I mentioned also that if I put my finger on the 10 chord here, or the 10 fret here on the A string, it's also a proper C chord because I got my G, C, E, I'm doubling up on the G. Okay, so that's just an example. I'm going to give you another way, which is the way you probably would like to do it. I've given this link out before. This is called Ukebuddy. If you look at this, let me see if I can Control C. Where's my, I'm going to blow this up for you. Here's the URL for Ukebuddy. I sent it out before. I can send it out again. I highly recommend you keep this at your fingertips. The ukebuddy.com ukulele chords. This is one of the coolest things I've ever found. And what it does is you can find any chord. So like here, let's find the C major chord. So under chord, I have this clicked. Then I want C major. And you'll see it tells you where your fingers go, just like your charts. And it also tells you the notes. So you'll see G, C, E, and C again. So we just went through that exercise. The other cool thing about this is that it helps you find all the other positions. So if I use this arrow, it tells you that that's a C chord. That's a C chord. Remember we talked about this one. That's a C chord. 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 We'll actually use this one in the future. That's C chord. That's C chord. That's C chord. C chord. C chord. C chord. C chord. That, yeah, C chord. That one you'll get used a lot. Okay. So you see what's going on. There's a lot of C chords. So rather than trying to use your brain to find all these things, use this website to help you do it. And if you ever want to like embellish your arrangements or something, this is a great way to do it. And so just so you know, you can do this for like a minor chord there. You can do it for the 7 chord. Which is you recognize that as your C7. Remember I talked about the major 7, which is just remember 7, dominant 7 is just a flatted one. So that's why this only moves 1. So you get the sense of how this works. So I highly recommend finding ukebuddy.com and using that. All right, that's all I got for this one.